Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick clarification. I misspoke in the initial interview with Jamie, and I had explained that the victim's last name was Conkin and the actual assaulter is Richard Conkin. I did check with the court system and nothing was public. So if I come across more information, I'll get that for you then. By all means, safety, safety, safety first.
Recording in progress. Welcome to the Cleaning Business Life podcast, the show where real life meets cleaning business success. I'm Shannon Miller, your host and cleaning business coach with over a decade of hands-on industry experience. That's 15 years for 2025. And I'm also joined by my incredible co-host, Jamie Runco. Together, we bring you real life stories from cleaning business owners and guests who have been in the trenches just like you. You'll leave with small, actionable steps that you can implement today to boost your profits and simplify your cleaning business and your life. If you're ready to turn your hustle into a thriving, sustainable business, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. Jamie, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Hello.
It
Well,
was. It has been forever, though.
it has. The weeks go by,
Forever in a week.
right? Goes by, and then I'm like, I haven't spoken to her all week, and I've just, you're busy, I'm busy, we're doing.
Oh, man. Or we just, hi, how you doing? We check in. So
So
what are we talking about today?
right, we're going to talk
Yeah.
about something that's pressing and important, and the person who's probably going to be released this Saturday will be moved and put in a different spot for release. I don't remember if it's an interview or regular. I'll have to actually check. But this is really important. It's top of the mind, and it reminds everyone to really have protocols in place for safety. Jamie and I have spoken about this relentlessly. And we're going to get back on that soapbox to remind you
Yeah.
that stuff like this goes down all of the time and you need to be made aware. Now, I've had a couple people say, I, would have whipped out my gun. And, I know some of us carry in Arizona. Typically, I'm not bringing anything inside of someone's house. It's something that's kept in my vehicle. There are a couple of you that I know very well that I love very well who actually openly carry. And that's great. If you are considering doing something like that, check your laws first and become educated. Carrying a firearm is a skill that is diminishable. So it's not something that you can just whip around like in the movies and remember how to get that thing going. It's practice, 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 practice. Because I have a concealed carry permit that I went to a class for, and I still go out and I practice. I'm still don't think that I'm 1,000%. And that's just me being obsessive and I'm never going to be a sniper. But it's the reality is we as women, because we're mostly women based, need to protect ourselves. So if you're going to consider and go down that path, follow the protocol, whatever the rules are in your state. California is really brutal. I don't remember what the
Well, I will say that in Humboldt County, we carry most guns per capita in the county. So it's like the wild, wild west out here. However, yeah, you got to check your laws. Some of us cannot own a firearm um, due to legality issues,
right,
but we're talking about safety.
right.
And the reason why this has been brought to the forefront is because there's a thing circulating around on the internet right now and social media about a 73-year-old man that is being accused. He was arrested, but being accused of rape, raping his cleaner. He hired a cleaner
Off
and
door.
off of Nextdoor. She was looking for babysitting and cleaning jobs, and he said that he needed his house cleaned. I mean, and they go into detail about what, and not real detail. Of course, it's just coming out. By the time this hits, uh,
This will be released.
Spotify, yeah, it'll be, we'll probably know more about it,
Right.
hopefully, because I'm going to keep track of this. This man is accused of raping his cleaner that he hired off of Nextdoor, and he taped her up and everything, and pushed her on the 73-year-old man. So we are talking about safety today and
Right.
what kind of protocols you need to implement in your business to protect yourself if you're a solo cleaner or your employees, your company.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's really important that you're looking out for your girls and guys. And then there needs to be the safety protocol. We've talked about Life 360 on multiple podcasts.
Yes.
Jamie, I think at this point you should probably get an affiliate link.
Yeah.
The
Start.
Structure, Scale, and Profit Cleaning Business Academy is the best investment that I made in my business. I truly feel that when it comes to being a business owner, anyone can start a business, but it's not easy to maintain that business. If you do not have structures in place, it will fall. Shannon Miller is a godsend. My business nearly ran itself, well, I nearly ran my business into the ground due to not knowing a lot of things. And thank God for Shannon because she was able to pull me out of the hole. And we are back on the road to recovery. And I couldn't be more excited. I'm so happy to be heading in the direction that we are. Thank you,
With all
Shannon.
the people that I have on there. Yeah.
From that, but there's it's this poor person, her last name is, I saw it here, Conkin. It doesn't state how old this individual is, not that that makes a difference. It just gives you more of the pretext of the story. I'm guessing if she's looking for babysitting and house cleaning, she might be younger. But the first and foremost thing that you should pay attention to is always, I cannot emphasize this enough, always, always, always listen to your gut. It can't, God gives you that sixth sense for a reason. It's that fight or flight. If things aren't,
Yeah, it feels off.
if you get goosebumps, like all of the hair on my arms are standing up right now. If you get any of those feelings when you're interacting, whether male or female, that is your brain telling you that something is not right and that you need to take action because there is danger, imminent danger. People give off an energetic field before they do something. And if you're aware of your sixth sense and you've developed it, it will come at you faster. They could be 100 yards away and you'll be able to feel it. But sometimes we don't feel it until they're in our close proximity. Like you guys have all heard me about the guy who punched me trying to protect my cleaning tech, right? And I wasn't paying attention to that sixth sense. And if I had, I would have stepped away and handled things differently. It was a learning experience for me for sure. It fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Never happened again.
It'll never happen again because you start that day forward, you implemented something inside of your business, right?
Right. It's called the Code of Conduct Policy. And basically it states if you misbehave, whether good or bad or unintentional, we have the right to pull off that job and we will just bill you for the full cleaning.
Yep.
And if it's a violation of human rights like this, then we're going to call the police and have you arrested on top of it.
What is astonishing to me is this 73-year-old man gets arrested, goes to jail, and then posts his $250,000 cash bond only
Right.
and is on an ankle monitor. That and you know, it's he's not supposed to talk to his victim,
On
which is
house
the
arrest.
cleaner. Yeah, but man, that's a piece of paper that just isn't, I don't know. Sometimes it is just not good enough.
Well, the type
Obviously.
know that they did the title for likes and shares and everything like that, but it says man accused of raping woman he hired to clean his home put on house arrest. First of all, there was no accusation. If you had to put up a bond, that means that charges were pressed. If
Yep.
you're on house arrest, something happened where you're not allowed to leave your house. They put an ankle monitor on you. You're not arbitrarily going good faith going, I'm gonna stay in my house. When
You are in serious, they're seriously watching you. You are in some serious trouble.
Right. So you can't go out of your house. If you go out of your house, I think it's only to the property line. So if you live in a city, Louisville is a city. This happened in Louisville. I'm assuming Louisville, Kentucky. It doesn't really, yeah, it says West WLKY. So that is West. I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the area. Please forgive me. But it does say Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. So Richard Conkin is posted bond on Monday, right after the incident happened. He's not to have any contact with the victim. And
Windsor Forest.
arrest citation responded to a woman's ad on Nextdoor where she sought babysitting or home cleaning jobs. I'm reading this.
Yes. No.
Around 1:30 p.m. while she was cleaning the upstairs bedroom, Conkin allegedly came into the room, pushed her down on the bed, and held her down by her wrists, according to the police. As she struggled, Conkin was said to have told her not to scream or it would be worse. At this point, you have nothing to lose, and you better start resisting really fast. And obviously, this is circumstantial, and I'm just flying off the cuffs here. But
Right.
every situation is different. I'm not saying she did the wrong thing or the right thing, but your brain needs to kick into overdrive if you're in that situation.
Right. And to watch out for these red flags. Some of the red flags that I look out for is they don't want to give you their full name. Or they're being you're on the phone with them. They don't want to sign your agreement.
Right.
You're not getting on our schedule without those two things. These are red flags. And if you're not there yet of making people sign agreements or you're learning how to do this, these are some red flags that you need to be looking out for. If they're not wanting to give you their full name, um, there's something wrong with it. And just an address. Make sure we're asking these questions.
Right.
Make sure you're asking full. They got to have a full name. That way we can get back to there. Just
And
you
then it
got.
said citation noted that he offered to pay her an extra $20 to keep quiet. I could say so many things about that. It's not a funny situation, but it's laughable because in his mind, you can see where he was going. Like, I have done something wrong. I'm going to compensate by offering you $20 to keep quiet. And it said the police said the woman's wrists were bruised and that she had cuts to her knuckles, which she claimed happened during her struggle. So we're missing a big chunk of the story. We're only being told what really went down with it. So if her wrists were bruised, he must have been grabbing her pretty hard. And it just like, and it says court records show that Conkin was arrested on the same evening and charged with first-degree rape. I didn't know there was different levels of rape, and that's my own naivety. He was booked into the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections and is being held on a $250 cash bond. Conkin is scheduled to appear at 9 a.m. on March 31st. So that's legitimately next Monday, I believe, or Tuesday, Monday. So I'm curious, there might be a part 2 to the story because it depends on what they decide to do.
I think we probably should maybe visit this here after a while too. Don't you think? I would love to um revisit this story and see where it's at because this is for us. This is
Oh
for
it's
us
wild.
cleaners. Boy, nothing makes me more mad than just the way that somebody has just totally taken advantage of this poor lady. But we really got to make sure, just make sure that, you let somebody know where you're going and when to expect you back.
You need to
Um,
tell your mom, your significant other. You need to let someone know where you are at all time. You need to get Life 360. Someone needs to be able to have access to that information so they can keep tabs of you. It's not like in the movies where who is it? Queen Latifah has the equalizer. I'm watching her sitcom, and what's his face? Harry, I believe his name is Harry, has access to all this techie stuff because he's a techie guy and they're able to access people's phones and wild stuff like that. Make sure that you have a protocol in place to protect yourself. So let your mom know, let your grandma know, let your neighbor, anybody that if you feel uncomfortable at all, let them know where you are and have them check in with you. And I used to go do bids in person. I would tell my husband, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go do this bid here. If I don't show back up, or can you call me in 30 minutes um, just to check up on me? Then that lets that other person know that there's not an opportunity because someone is keeping tabs on you, right? You got to look out for yourself. We live in a society where it's every man for themselves, and we are more likely to film the tragedy than offering assistance. And it's a really sad conclusion. And it's
yeah,
kind of
continue to,
different. We don't do that yet, thank God. But in the bigger cities, how many times have we seen tragedy happen and they'll whip out their phone and film it? I'm like, you guys are awful humans.
It's like yeah, finish what you're doing while I video you. Go ahead, kill the person. I got it on video.
Right. And I'm gonna put it all over Reddit. And it's just like I stay off there. That's a whole rabbit hole. It's
All
not for
right,
Shannon.
yeah. Yeah. I
I'm
listen to and if you
aware.
ever are listening, I listen to Smosh Reddit reads. Oh, I love that show. I
It's
just
about pay grade. I can't handle it.
I just listen to that show. I don't go on to Reddit myself, but their reads are so funny, but especially when with the am I the assholes? And some people's logic thinking is just but yeah, with this guy here, I would really like to do a recap on this to see what happens, as it unfolds. But
Definitely.
this is a good time also to try and get if you don't have one, get a booking platform, some sort of booking platform. Me and Shannon use Jobber. It's a great tool um, that works very well. And, you know, if the vibe is off, like Shannon said, you'll feel it. You'll feel it in your heart. Your heart, you can feel something's not right. So that's why you make sure you let people know where you're going to be at. This is a good time to implement a booking platform. Um, get your payment up front with these booking platforms. Just make sure you get your payment up front and let somebody know where you're going and when
Right.
you're going to stop. That way there's a paper trail of and proof that this person was on my schedule. And this is for people with employees too. Where's this employee at? Her you can see with our booking platform, you can see, I can see if they're clocked in, like the clock's going around and around and around. And it's like, okay, they're there. And then can leave me notes. It's a great way to communicate through that too. Um, Plus we have Messenger and I have 360.
Right.
So I made sure.
To make sure that everyone is safe, because it is your responsibility as an employer to provide safety to your employees. If you're solo, they do give some tips here in the article. It says if the service involves going to someone's home, duh, we're always in someone's home. Consider bringing a friend, coworker, assistant. If working alone, check in with someone before and after your appointment, which we just mentioned. Husband, grandma, your mom, your roommate. Be cautious. If a client asks personal questions unrelated to work, or if they make you feel uncomfortable, end the service and leave. And this is why Jamie had mentioned getting payment up front, because if you do have to leave, then at least you're recovering some of your costs. Not only are you going to be traumatized by the event, and possibly emotionally scarred, at least you got paid for that. And then if it says report any suspicions to your employer and law enforcement. There was a story, and I keep bringing this up every time we have these little episodes that come up. It's to remind you that there was a guy, I don't remember what state it was. I don't know if it was Kentucky or Alabama. He inherited a large lot of land. I mean, there were like hundreds and hundreds of acres. And his housekeeper, he kidnapped her and he kept her. I don't remember. I believe this is like 8 years ago. He kept her tied up on a dog chain and she couldn't escape. He had had her chained up for weeks. And we won't go into all the graphic details, but he was doing some not so nice things to her. And how she was rescued is there was an Amazon, I believe it was either Amazon or UPS truck, got lost. This is divine providence. It gives me goosebumps. Went to the property and was at the wrong side of the property and heard her hammering on the walls, like, get me out, get me out. And that's how she was able to be saved. So you just don't know with people. So use caution, provide yourself with some sort of recourse of safety protocols. Jamie?
Yeah, no, and do not be afraid
Right.
to say no. If it's off, don't be afraid to tell them no. My schedule is full. You don't have to provide, you don't even have to provide them nothing. Don't be afraid to say no.
Reserve the right to refuse service to anyone.
Yes. And no takes a lot of practice to get to. I know that because I was that person that said yes to everything because emotion were women, mostly women based, and we go by emotions. And it's taken me quite a while to just whenever I'm on the phone, I come up with something like that. So I don't know.
I'm really sorry, my schedule is
Hey,
full.
what's going on, Shannon? My name is Mike. This is my brother Steve, and we own S&M Cleaning Solutions. And we just want to tell you thank you from the bottom of our hearts. The 30-day sprint was amazing, and you really helped out our company a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, I just no.
I'm really sorry.
I'll be out of. I'll be out of town then. I don't know. That's all. I just wanted to make sure that people know that it's okay to say no to these people.
Right. And I believe there was another incident, I want to say in Florida, where it was a husband and wife that were working as a team, and they were both held at gunpoint by a gentleman who hired them to clean their house. So you just need to protect yourself, and we could probably cover that in another story. I'd never followed up with that one. I think that was, I want to say, in December of last year. But these incidences seem to be a little more frequent. Always be aware, always go by your gut, and have the safety protocols in place. So Life 360, letting somebody know, telling people no, you have the right to refuse service for anyone. Just because someone goes, I want to do business with you, doesn't mean that they're going to be a good fit. How many nightmare clients, I'm raising my hands, have we had where you're just like, what is going on?
One house, I had a jinxie house. Yeah.
My house is not that dirty. It's no big deal. It's just a broom sweep. And I don't understand why you're charging all that. It's like, because you've never had your own cleaning business.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a very short version. We might do a part 2 depending on how he's arraigned. I'm very interested in finding out what goes on with this gentleman, and I hope that he's punished.
To the fullest.
for the woman that he did this to. It's traumatic.
Yes. Can you, just think about it. I mean, this guy somehow, even at 73, sometimes it don't matter. They're just strong as strong.
Gosh,
And I've seen a lot of people posting, oh, 73, look at him. I would get, you don't know until you're in that situation exactly what you would do. And I'm sorry, he obviously overpowered her and was able to duct tape her
right.
hands together. And then she's lucky she's alive. She's lucky she was able to actually get someplace and press charges. Good for her.
I don't think that age
Uh,
makes either because
no.
the guy who punched me was 83 and he got up faster than I ever, and it was the fastest I've ever seen a senior citizen move. And like, and we were nose to nose.
Yeah.
It was like, it took like 3.5 seconds for him to get up and get in my face. I was like, whoa, where did that come?
Ooh,
This
yeah, exactly.
carries us for a lot of reasons. He clearly, I'm thankfully, it could have been way worse for me. He could have pounded me into the pavement and I would have been done.
Yes, yeah,
No,
no. And by that, I just hit you wrong.
right,
You hit somebody wrong up on the nose. That nose goes back there. Oops, I killed you. Oops.
right. Sorry. But yes, what we're probably going to do part 2. Just protect yourself and be aware, ladies and gentlemen.
Gentlemen, no, seriously, yeah. Everybody. Okay.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Yes, we will.
Yeah,
So
no
much
problem.
like I wish I knew about you when I first started this 12 years ago. So
Awesome. Awesome. I love hearing that.
yeah. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye.